कि हम इंग्लिश की डिक्टेशन आपको भेजते हैं और कुछ सेशंस हम ग्रामर के भी करते हैं। और अब नेक्स्ट हमारे जो सेशन है ग्रामर के हैं, एडजेक्टिव है, एडवर्ब है और नाउन प्रोनाउन है, सिमली, मेटाफर, इस प्रकार की जो ग्रामर की बेसिक चीजें हैं उस पर हम डिक्टेशन डालते हैं। उम्मीद करते हैं कि आप देखते होंगे और देखते रहिए। हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए, लाइक कीजिए, ताकि सबसे पहले जो हमारी वीडियो आए आपको मिले। तो रेडी, स्टार्ट। द जजमेंट ऑफ अपेक्स कोर्ट, हेडमास्टर लॉरेंस स्कूल वर्सेस Raghu and another also does not aid the case of the petitioner, since it did not deal with a judicial officer, and the primary issue under consideration was whether the language of termination was stigmatic or not. Stop. The apex court, after analyzing the rules, came to the finding that the irresistible conclusion in that case was that principle of demand confirmation was not attracted. Stop. However, on facts, it held that the first respondent acquired the status of a confirmed employee, and thereafter an inquiry was required to be conducted. Stop. Para. The appellant was appointed in Punjab Civil Services Judicial Branch and was on probation in Ishwarchand Agarwal versus State of Punjab, which was considered along with Samsher Singh Supra and disposed of by a common judgment by the apex court. Stop. Both the termination orders were set aside by the Honorable Supreme Court. Stop. In the case of Samsher Singh Supra, the High Court, for reasons not stated, requested the government to depute Director of Vigilance to hold an inquiry. Stop. The apex court found it strange, since the High Court itself had control over the subordinate judiciary, and instead of holding an inquiry itself, asked the government to hold the same. Stop. It in AIR opined that the members of subordinate judiciary were not only under the control of the Honorable High Court but also under its care and custody, and the High Court failed to discharge its duty by relinquishing its control and in total disregard of Article 235 of the Constitution of India. Stop. The government could only act on the recommendation of the High Court and not conversely. Stop. In case of Samsher Singh Supra, the apex court was of the view that the unsuitability was not properly assessed by Rule 9, made it incumbent upon the authority that service of a probationer could be terminated on specific fault or on account of unsatisfactory record, implying unsuitability, which was not the case with the appellant therein. Stop. The inquiry officer nominated the Director of Vigilance, recorded the statements of witnesses behind the back of the appellant in Ishwarchand Supra, and gave his finding on the allegations of misconduct. Stop. The High Court accepted the said report and then recommended that Ishwarchand Agarwal was not a suitable person to be retained in service. Of the apex court held that termination in the facts and circumstances was clearly by way of punishment, since the allegations were serious and grave in nature, involving stigma of misconduct, and the petitioner could not have been terminated without an opportunity of hearing. Stop. In the present case, clearly under Rule 7, the authorities found that the petitioner's services could be terminated prior to confirmation on the specific fault of not complying with the High Court orders, concealing necessary facts before the High Court, and seeking to tinker with the evidence stop. Furthermore, the aforesaid judgments can be distinguished on the ground that High Court itself conducted the inquiry and did not relegate its duty to the government to conduct the same stop. It was on the recommendation of the High Court that government dispensed with the services of the petitioner stop. Thank you.